exporting sector. So we put those facilities at 7.5% per annum, not per month. This is not Zimbabwe. 7.5% per annum, that's the interest which is low. I very many people say that our interests in this country are high. They are not. If you compare with all other countries in the region and in Africa, in Nigeria or in Egypt, which are the biggest economies in this country now, including South Africa, they are around 12 to 15%. Elsewhere, it's 20%. So here, we are talking about interest rate of 7.5%. The tenure for working capital is 12 months. For capital expenditure, between around 3 years. And if it is so required, we can extend to 5 years, but 3 years standard. And that the money is accessed through banks. This way it may be a challenge. Some of the banks do not believe in the facilities which you are putting in place. And that's the truth of the matter. I don't run the banks, I supervise banks. So you need to talk to your banks, those ones who are like-minded group of producing more goods in Zimbabwe, of promoting you in Zimbabwe. Others have got a perception that they rather keep the money in their coffers until the rates have come take the money. Our job is to ensure that we take that money, put it in the industry. So the money is there, and we go through your banks, you do your business proposals, go to the bank, and then the banks, they come to us from the fund, we provide the funding. As simple as that. And the money is there. And these facilities, Honorable Minister, we have seen for other sectors. I don't see why it is not able to be used by the tourism sector. Let's start it. The taste of the food is in the eating. Let's just start. What are we trying to do? We are trying to utilize RTGS balances to sweat them, create value, which value will bring foreign currency, which foreign currency you also need tomorrow. And some of these funds, when you go through the bank, if there's a foreign exchange component, we also provide the required foreign currency to ensure that at least, but some of the things that might need to be imported, also provide that portion. So as to match with what you want to do. So that one is available. And therefore, we don't want people to complain. And how do you go about it? We say it maybe you want to utilize either the ZTA or the Zimbabwe Tourism Council, the private sector, whichever way. It's also good to be registered, so to also get more benefits and know what is happening. Therefore, and both I know that the TEACH organization might represent the bigger companies, but the ZTA is here, okay, ICGT is here. This facility is there for you. On the competitiveness area, we have put in place a national competitive strategy to reduce costs in Zimbabwe through the Export Incentive Scheme. The Export Incentive Scheme is a national competitive strategy to reduce costs. Because what it has is that it reduces your costs of accommodation. It reduces the costs of doing business in Zimbabwe. How? If a hotel room is $200, and for you to be competitive, it's $180. It means that if you provide you with a 10% export incentive, 10% of 200 is 20. 200 minus 20 becomes 180. And therefore you become competitive in this country. But I've seen television reports, media reports, you colleagues of mine in Zimbabwe complain that no, we cannot compete with the market because our prices are high. But we are providing the export incentive scheme. Use it for reducing your costs, you increase your volume, and your business goes on. But what are you doing? Alas, what are you doing, Minister? What the sector and others are doing in Zimbabwe is to utilize the export incentive scheme to increase their profits. So where a hotel is $200, Instead of reducing it to 180, you now calculate 10% of 200, which is 20. You're now getting 220 yourself. And you think your business can grow. Myself, I run my own small tuck shops. I don't do that. You run your big businesses, you do that. That's the Zimbabwean mentality of increasing costs. The export incentive scheme is a national internal devaluation strategy. How do you reduce your costs in foreign currency? If you give you that export incentive, you are reducing your costs. Then you hear people say that no, our cost number is very high. I think let's avoid these songs from hymns of seeing ourselves as a country that is very expensive. We've put in place those national programs, national strategies to reduce the costs. So it means that as a team, tourism team, you need to come up and say, what should be our export incentive threshold if you want to be competitive in Zimbabwe? None of you have ever come to our offices. But when I go to a company like Triggers, a company like Dairy Board, a company like Nestle, they will tell me that Reserve Bank, for us to be competitive in the field or in the market of called Zambia, we need 12.5%. Tobacco producers, they've come to us that 5% that you gave us last year, we think we can do better with the 12.5%. This is why the crop of tobacco has gone up. Because it is 12.5, when they sell, they get 12.5. They compete. Both costs have been going up, therefore they are going to be competitive. But industry called tourism, which is a low-hanging fruit, they've been very quiet. Silence means two things. Either you are content, which means you are satisfied, or that you don't know what is available, or that you need assistance. And I thought today I'll come here to say a few words of trying to assist this industry that I love so much. I see that there is South African Airways, there's British Airways here, and there's, that's part of tourism, because they bring in the tourists to Zimbabwe. We've opened Vic Falls, a nice airport, and I hear that they're going to upgrade the Harare airport. This is how tourism are brought into Zimbabwe. And that's good business. So ours is to make sure that those people, when they come, they are given good products in Zimbabwe. They are given good building in Zimbabwe. So this industry, Minister, is a very good industry. And I've got a passion for it. I love it. But the people they are a bit quiet. They are more reserved about the position. Now, in this new era, new dispensation, let's hold each other's hand and go forward with our business. Many people are going to come to Zimbabwe. They love to come and see hotels. They come to stay in hotels, develop them, improve them, facelift them, put all the products that they require. And some of us also be happier to be domestic tourism. And you go to Nyanga, you go to Vic Falls, which is a good sale. You go to see the animals. No more Cecil, but I think there's someone else now. So we need to ensure that we enjoy Zimbabwe. So, Minister, I want to challenge you. Our motto, a mantra in the bank, is to produce more. So that if you produce more, you increase fiscal space, you increase taxes, you increase exports, you increase employment, you increase welfare for Zimbabweans. Therefore, the answer to our Zimbabwean solution to the challenges that we are facing is not about the currency. It's about the production to support the currency. Now, you think the opposite, that currency should support production. No ways. You go and work, you bring more money, the currency will become very stable. I want to thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for the avoidance of doubt. That was the governor of the Reserve Bank, Dr. John Mangudya. I think for his passion and for the time and all that he has said to us, he indeed deserves another big round of applause from all of us. Thank you very much, Dr. Mangudya and your team. I think at this juncture, allow me now to move on with our program. And we are now going to receive an address from none other than the Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Mupfumira herself, who is here with us. Many would have known her from her previous deployment where she was Minister of Labour and Social Welfare. And I'm delighted that Mr. Wingwiri, today we really have a fair